servlets with Ajax. I'll show you Ajax with your servlet. Actually, Ajax means, do you know what is this? It's asynchronous Java script to and XML. So how to make this Ajax calls? In case, let's say if you have a form field here, some number of form fields here, something form name, email, address, along with your submit button, and we no need to have any form action here. In case of Ajax, you no need to contain form action here. Actions you can write under JavaScript. Okay, just a simple form here I have. So when I submit this on submit button, I need to read field names, name, email and address. That properties I want to send to a servlet. Here I have a servlet, registration servlet. Registration servlet. For this registration servlet URL pattern in web.xml file, the mapping URL pattern for this registration servlet, if it is something like URL pattern /reg. Okay, to map to the servlet URL pattern, if it is /reg. When I click on the submit button, name and email and address properties data you need to read on your JavaScript. So you need to write some script like this. You need to write a JavaScript. So Ajax something JS JavaScript you need to write. So how to write that JavaScript here? To make Ajax call $.Ajax call. Okay, simple $.Ajax call. On that Ajax call we need to call our type of method and URL and Ajax. On Ajax our method type. So the method type here, which method we need to call on servlet? Here we can have doGet and doPost. doGet with request and response. Here we can have doPost with request and response. In case if you want to call doGet method, here type value we should give get. So if you pass type value here get, it will call doGet method of your servlet. If you pass here type equal to post, it will call your method doPost. So to call get, you need to pass get here. Simple syntax you can remember easily. This one is jQuery Ajax. Ajax of type equal to type colon get or post comma URL. Our URL pattern is what? To call registration servlet reg. So this is my URL pattern. So here URL pattern reg comma. In case of success, if my call is success, if it is success, on success you can write success statements here. If it is fail, error, it will return error. On error you can write error statements here. In case if you want to print any output, on success if you want to print output, on error if you want to print output, on success and error you can write here some required statements, or else any function also you can write success function. On success you can execute a function. If you send any string output, that output data it will send here. So some data if it submits, that data it will pass here. So on this function you can print that data here. Something, how to print output here? This data output if you want to print on alert, you can write alert here, alert of data. Or else in case if there is a chance to get error, function error object, you can print that alert error. Okay, if you make like this, yeah, Ajax call, what happens? Directly while loading this page from your server, if the URL pattern, if it is something like http://localhost 8080 something application name, whenever you submit this submit button, it will not refresh your page. Page will remaining same, but this page data will submit to servlet. And in the same page itself, you can print output also here. Let's say here if you have one paragraph tag, simple paragraph tag, in between this paragraph and paragraph if you want to print any data here, that success data you can write here. If you write in success, if you write here something, a message, dollar, if you write of P, if you pass your paragraph tag here, element, dot append, something success or failure, if you append here, that success or failure message, it will append to your paragraph tag. Okay, so it will look like whenever you submit, directly it will print success or failure here, but without refreshing your page. Okay, so you can avoid page refreshen whenever you want to submit data from here to server. Where exactly it is useful? In case if you have form content, like here if you have some 10 KB form content, if your form content is only 1 KB or 2 KB, every time if you try to load another page, what happens? Again and again it need to load the 10 KB data. But whenever you submit, only success or failure message if you want to print here, then it will reduce the page loading burden, right? So using Ajax, what we can do, instead of refreshing page every time, without refreshing your page also, your form data you can submit to server. Okay, so using this simple Ajax, you can make those calls. You can use method get here, or else you can use post also here, option get, or you can use post, get or post. You can use get or post, comma, here URL pattern, and comma, success. On success you can write one function. In this function it will return output. Which output? From here we can write some out.println, right? Some output we can write, right? That same output it will return here, and here it will return error messages in case if there is any error. Okay, yeah, let's go to example. Just the script we need to add into our form. Create a simple Ajax example. New HTML page, index.html. And here we know, right, for this jQuery what we should add first here, in this head content we need to add Google API, JavaScript we should add here. Your jQuery you need to add, jQuery API you need to add here. Then using that jQuery API you can make Ajax calls. Okay, so then in between body and body, write a form here. Form contains some simple action, registration. Actually we no need to depend on this action. Okay, instead of using this action we can go through Ajax actions, and here you can have form parameters, form name, email, address. Here you can create your input types, input type text and parameter name, and here using ID simply you can read your name data in Ajax. Use name here, and for email input type email, ID email, and for address text area 5 rows and about 15 columns, and parameter name address, comma ID equal to address, and finally one submit button, input type submit, value registered. Now you should write JavaScript for this form. Under JavaScript you need to call your servlet. Okay, how to call this? Just a minute, I'll show you the code. So on click event, just read your data. On document ready, write function here. You can write script here. On bottom of the page you can write script In between script and script, make a AJAX call on document ready. Here write function on document ready. On document ready means whenever your page load into browser. Okay. Then on this document ready, call your method when you click on submit button. On click submit button. On click function. So our submit button ID is what? For our submit button, do you have ID here? Submit button ID is my submit. So use this submit button here. Use this submit button here. And on click of the submit button, some values it need to pass here. Which values it will pass? Your form properties it need to pass here. Okay. So that to pass form properties, yeah, ID country, ID button. Okay, anyways. Okay. And you can call your AJAX function. Call this AJAX function here. $.AJAX of. Write your function here. So on this function, the method type is type equal to default we are using get, comma, your URL pattern. Our form URL pattern is registration and success. On success, you can write a function of, it will return data, output data, use that data and print output here. You can write some alert, success, or else on error you can write function error message. Yeah, that's it. So see this? Yeah, fine. Yeah. So is it calling or not? You can check here by writing alert on document ready. It need to execute this alert. On submission, write one more alert here. On click. Just for debugging. Okay. If it print this alert, you can observe whether that form is executing or not. And for form, we don't require any action. You just use ID. Okay, for form you can use simple ID. Remove this action from here. So something like my form. Anyways, we are not using form anywhere. And for that form, you need to write controller here. Write a controller, new controller, write your servlet class, registration servlet, URL pattern. What we are using slash reg. Next, just we need to override do get method. In form we are using only one method, get. So use here do get method. Override method do get. On do git, here you can read data. So to read data, actually we need to pass our data to controller. I'll show you the code how to call it. Yeah. Just I'll replace this code here. Once again, see, our submit button ID is my submit. On this my submit button click, it need to execute it. So actually we don't have any validation, so that you can remove this validate. So yeah, we don't have any validations here now. Now we need to read our form properties. So we have name, and this is name value, and we have email, read that email value. Through Ajax we need to send to our controller actually, email value, and we have address, read that address value here. Okay, 3 properties we have. Now send that properties from here. Name, email, address you need to send through get method, and my form action is registration. So data we are trying to submitting, which data? Name equal to name and email equal to email, address equal to address. This data I need to send to my controller. Then finally controller will return some message here. See, this one is separator actually. Separator between name and email, separator between email and address. Okay, and on success, here print alert success, and in case if it fails, call function error. Okay, in this error just print error message, alert of fail. Yeah, now everything is fine. On click alert, write alerts, on click alert, on document, on load alert, yeah. Now go to controller. In controller now you can read properties. String name equal to request dot get parameter of name, request dot get parameter of email, request dot get parameter of address. Read these 3 properties values. Name, just I'm printing output system.out.println, email and address. Finally you can keep on output out.println println response dot get writer dot print success. Okay, now run this example, run on server. Onload alert, onload, it is executing. So document is ready now. Check it in any other browser. Onload alert, here also executed. Now submit form data, abc at gmail HYD. On click alert executed, right? Finally message is what? Success.